Did you know the average age of a video game designer is between 30 and 40 years of age? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 192. My name's Gareth Briley. I'm going to be your host with the most. And on my virtual left, back from the abyss, is Mr. James Burks. How you doing, James?
Hello.
Hey!
You're still here.
We're still doing it. We're still doing it. We were waiting for you. James, you've been poorly, but you're back. When was your last one?
Oh, it's definitely around October time.
Wow.
It's at least 3 months.
You haven't missed much.
It's been far too long. I can imagine I've missed absolutely nothing apart from moaning.
Me and Paul arguing about who's getting not the good games. That's been about 3 months of that. Richard being sensible and nice, and Darren being the same as well. Just being Paul being useless. Neil coming on and just talking about something else. Paul Renshaw's on our virtual right. How you doing, Paul?
I'm somewhere. Yes, I'm doing very well, Gareth. Talking to you from my plush office where I have stayed behind just to talk to you guys. Because otherwise you'd be trying to talk to me as I drove up the M1.
Yes, good.
So,
thank you, Paul, for that.
Safety first.
Yeah, dedication. I like it. Richard, on our virtual opposite. How are you doing, Richard?
Hello, I'm glad to be back again, and I'm glad that James is back as well. A bit of normality to proceedings this week with him back.
Yeah, exactly.
We share the road, can't we?
Hopefully he's going to rein Gareth in a bit, because without James here to counteract him, he's been like some kind of megalomaniac all the time.
Do you mean correct him?
Yeah, just keep him on the straight and narrow, mate. That's what you're here for.
Fact check me like Twitter.
All the time.
Richard, how's your week been before we go on to our main event?
It don't seem like 2 minutes since I was on the podcast on Friday, but I noticed this week that we have a little mouse running about outside, so I've been concentrating on trying to get that without letting on that there's one there, so Laura doesn't start panicking. So I've bought some traps for it and strategically hidden them around the outside of the house that she won't hopefully notice them. It's all come about because the neighbours decided to start feeding the pigeons that have appeared. Started with one, and there's now about 20. So obviously he's bought a 10-kilogram bag of birdseed, and that's what's attracted this mouse.
Wow, there you go. Update on the mouse next week. I've got mice problems, but I've always got mice problems. I name them now. They help me with the podcast. That's how friendly we are.
Explains a lot.
Paul, how's your week been?
It's been all right. It's been one of travels again. I've been to Leeds and I've been to Sheffield. So I've been on kind of a Yorkshire tour. But other than that, it's just busy work, innit? So it's just nice to have a break and talk to you boys.
Oh, lovely. And James, how are you? How are you seeing your week been?
Well, every day seems to just blend into the other at the moment. It's like Groundhog Day on my road to recovery.
Yeah.
Plenty of time though to watch Netflix and Korean dramas and all that rubbish.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a lot, unfortunately.
It's a strange month, January, isn't it? I know we're in February the 1st today when we recorded, but it's been it's been hard. It's a hard slog.
It's been the longest January ever. It seems to have lasted 3 months.
Yeah, I'm with you.
This seems ages ago, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Seems like last year.
Yeah.
It does, mate. You're absolutely right.
But that's kind of insight from James we've missed on this podcast. I've had a day today. I'm not going to talk about it, but let's just imagine it was like if you've seen the Goodfellas film, it's like the end sequence when he's, apart from the cocaine and the helicopters, it's pretty similar. So let's carry on to the main event of the PlayStation State of Play. which we all watched last night. It's only got announced on Tuesday, so we've done our podcast a little bit later, so we can talk about it because there was lots going on. Before we go into, we'll go through the list of all the things, but before we go into it, I always like to ask this: do you think it was a good state of play, Richard?
Not particularly.
Ooh.
There was a couple of things that got me excited that we'll go into detail with, but I think they'd spread it a little bit too thin, which is unusual for a state of play. I think they don't normally show as much off. It's only tends to focus on 3 or 4 games and a bit more of an insight, but it just seemed more like one of the Nintendo Directs where it'll just do trailer, and even then a few of them weren't getting me excited at all.
Oh, okay, we'll hear more about that in a minute. James, what about you? Good state of play?
I think given my lack of gaming recently, I think it made me enjoy this more. I thought it was a decent state of play, probably one of the better ones. And only once did I think, oh Jesus, what's that?
Yeah.
You know, everything else is pretty good.
Yeah. What about you, Paul?
No, I'm with Richard. I thought it was rubbish.
Oh.
It's weird the timing of it and how quickly it was announced. It's like it was almost a response to the Xbox One, you know, where they did the deep dive into the 5 games. And it just seemed superficial. It seemed like, what can we do? Let's cobble together a load of trailers and just call it a showcase. There you go. Bob's your uncle. So yeah, I wasn't massively impressed. I mean, there were a few things that I thought, ooh, that looks all right. But other than that, it was a bit, nah.
Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough.
Set the tone.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I had a good time. I quite enjoyed it. Let's crack on with it, though. We're going to go through the list of what we've seen. Some things we'll talk about a bit more in detail, some things we won't. Let's talk about, first of all, the first thing we saw, which was a game that's coming out next week, is Helldivers 2. Can I ask a question? I think, Paul, you've played the first one. Is that right?
Nope.
Who's played the first one out of here? No one? No.
Nope.
I didn't even know there was a first one.
Is there? I'm guessing it's the first one because the Helldivers 2.
Well, yeah, there you go. You see, you're making an assumption.
It's pretty bold.
Maybe they started at 2.
Do you know what? I put here. My only note was I like the look of this. I didn't mind this. It looks like it's another live service game. It feels like it's gonna almost in the vein of Destiny, and they said it's gonna have an expansion throughout the years. Am I right with this or wrong, Richard?
I got a similar impression. I think the only thing that I know about Helldivers is that the first one was a top-down, so this one's gone to the third-person over-the-shoulder thing. Sort of reminded me a little bit of Starship Troopers with some of the alien designs, but other than that, I just thought there's plenty of other games that I could be playing, other third-person shooters that I would probably get a bit more enjoyment out of.
Yeah, I mean, that trailer didn't show it off well, did it, James?
No, I think I want to know more about it before I'd be interested in it. It looked very, like you say, a bit Destiny, but generic Destiny. As in, it could be any game. It looked like it has its own personality. So yeah, I wasn't overly interested in that one.
I thought, did it have co-op? Paul, did you think it had co-op with this? Is that what it suggests?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's 4-player co-op because there always seems to be 4 guys that are fighting the enemy. So yeah, that's one more than Destiny for standard running about. But overall, it just doesn't impress me. I mean, you'd think it would be right up my alley with big aliens and big guns, but no, I'm just looking at it and thinking, meh. It doesn't look good enough for me to think I'll give that a try. It just seems very much by the numbers. We've seen Starship Troopers. Let's make a game out of it. So yeah, it's just no, not for me. I don't think.
Wow. I think it's I don't think it's a full price game. I think it's a bit cheaper than like the normal ones. Maybe I think it's around about
65 quid. Yeah.
Is it? I thought it was about 44 quid.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
No,
you said it was
35 quid. Yeah, 35 quid. So that's So yeah, well, we'll see. It's going to come out next week anyway. I don't think I'll be rushing to buy it. The next one, which we're going to talk about, is a longer trailer. We saw Stellar Blade. My first note for this was she has a very practical outfit.
Yeah, there was a lot of protection in that outfit.
I'm going to come over and say, first of all, I don't know what you do. I like the look of this. It felt like almost like a final.
You do, you dirty old man.
It felt like a Final Fantasy game. It felt very connected to that kind of world. Who's our Final Fantasy person? Richard, let's talk about that. What do you think? Did you like this or not?
I didn't get Final Fantasy vibes from it at all. I looked more hack and slash, a little bit like Nier, if anything. But yeah, all I could really pay attention to were the outfits as well. There was more costume changes than perhaps Madonna would have on a gig. So I'm assuming that's going to be a huge element for why a lot of people might be into this game. But I don't know. It didn't really excite me much because I think it had been quiet for a number of years, and then it's come back, and I just didn't see anything there that won me over really with this one.
Oh, I thought it looked quite interesting. I mean, I like the visuals of it. Not talking about the outfits, talking about the place it was in. What else I put here? I like the little camps. These little camp things you'd rest in. Got an armchair, little kind of machine for your stuff there.
Vending machine.
Vending machine, I like that.
The town looked quite good.
Yeah.
The old Zion town. But the wasteland, if you have to go through that all the time, that's going to be so boring. Otherwise, it does look fun.
It does look fun.
I mean, and it says there's loads of different costumes as well. That'll keep you going.
That'll keep us going. Paul, you interested in...
It'll keep you going, Gareth, honestly. I'm getting worried about you. Operation U3. Anyway.
Unbelievable.
I actually thought it looked quite good.
Yes. Thank you, Paul.
The outfits and everything notwithstanding, I was getting more of a kind of Dark Soulsy kind of vibe off it. You know, you're fighting all these creatures, and then you get to a massive boss, and you have to take that down. And you know, with there was also a bit of it looked like a bit like Wolong as well, where the gameplay seemed to be very much about parrying the right attacks at the right time, and then pressing the counter attack. So, I thought it's got potential. It doesn't need to have a scantily clad woman as the main protagonist. It could be anything.
But it helps.
But it certainly helps with the target audience like Gareth, yeah. But you know, I think it's got potential. This one, I'm more excited about that than I am about Helldivers.
Well, there you go. It's coming out on. It's the only release date. One of the only release dates we got, I think, is April 26th. So it's coming out this year. I think it's probably a little bit too close to Final Fantasy. I think they could have spread that out. But anyway, it's coming April 26th because it looks a huge game as well. So that's one of the dates that we have there. My next game and my next note, and I won't say it fully out for the kids who are listening to it, but was like effing Sonic again. That was my first note. But it's not. It's Sonic Shadows X Generation or something like that. Richard, who the hell is
Sonic,
this?
though, isn't it?
Who is this? Is it good? Is it a new thing? Is it a remake? What is it?
Sonic Generations is a 360 PS3 game,
Right?
and it's one of the best, to be honest, since Sonic went 3D. Sort of the best of both worlds, and it was really good back in the day. But I think this one is a remaster of that, but they've added in Shadow the Hedgehog and new levels. And I think there's some because the Sonic Generations thing was all about classic levels reimagined, and I think they've done that with some of the Shadow the Hedgehog levels from a game a few years ago as well. So I actually was really looking forward to this one. I loved Sonic Generations. I thought it was a really good Sonic game, and this one, if it's the same plus a little bit extra, and it's going to be out in time just for the third film, which is going to feature Shadow as well. So I think it is tying into that a little bit.
So Sonic fans are going to be very happy with this.
Yes.
Good. That's what I'm pleased about, not my own personal vendetta against Sonic. Paul and James, you got anything to say about this?
No, it's Sonic. It looks the same as always.
I enjoy the 2D versions of Sonic, but I can never get on with 3D. It's too modern for me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a miss.
Good.
But not because it's not good. Just I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
Simple.
There we go. The next game I've got question marks ZZZ. Is that what it's called? ZZZ in development. Can anyone get any light on that?
Zenless Stone Zero.
What?
Yeah.
Anyone know anything about this? I couldn't really work it out.
Only what we saw on the trailer, which wasn't a huge amount. I was watching it going, I don't really get it.
I think it
Sounds like Doggo's on top of it, though.
I think it's part of a universe that PlayStation have got going on with, is it Honkai Star Rail?
Yes.
Another gacha game. So yeah, I think it's just more of that kind of universe expanded. I mean, the animation looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the art style.
Yeah.
But again, you didn't really see enough of the game to say, oh, I might enjoy that. But I like the look of it.
I think it's quite early on, isn't it, in their process as they're making it.
Well, it's coming this year, so...
Oh, did it? I thought it said in development.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
I thought it's coming this year.
Yeah, you're pretty right. Let's look at the next one.
I've missed you, John.
Foam Stars. It's coming out in about 5 days time, and if you've got PlayStation Plus, you'll get it for free. I just put my eyes. But I think
We're all going to get foamy.
we're all going to get foamy.
Oh, I don't want that image in my
head. I mean, I think these are one of those games. I think someone who's did a preview for this said it makes complete sense when you play it, but when you look at it, it just doesn't. It just looks like a mess. But I think it's meant to be quite fun.
It looks like Splatoon, doesn't it?
Yeah, but yeah.
Basically, you'd think somebody's. I mean, Nintendo must be having a right old time at the minute. We've got Palworld taking Pokemon, and now we've got Foam Stars taking Splatoon. They're going to have no IP left.
Yeah, allegedly.
Thank you, Your Honour.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean, unless someone wants to comment about this. No, I haven't got anything. No, good. Let's go into Dave the Diver's coming to PlayStation in April, and it's got a little extra bit. Godzilla's going to join Dave the Diver in May.
Why not?
I've not played. Has anyone played Dave the Diver? Who reviewed it for us?
No.
No.
Was it Dave the reviewer?
Oh, it might be.
Did he do Dave the Diver?
He did Dredge. I know that, but I don't know if he did that.
Yeah.
Has it been on the Xbox?
Oh, maybe it
I
hasn't.
don't know if it has.
I didn't
Maybe
know.
it hasn't.
I thought it had.
It's coming to PlayStation in April for the first time, so...
Right, so
It's been on PC though, hasn't it?
Yeah.
PC and Switch. It's not been on Xbox.
That's it.
Oh, right. There you go.
There we go. Right.
It does look fun, though.
Yes, mate. I mean, it was in all the awards, Dave the Diver, wasn't it, for Best Indie last year? Everywhere. So yeah, should be.
It's a bit unique, isn't it? Catching the fish and then selling the fish in your little sushi bar afterwards. That's, and I think there's a bit of seahorse racing as well. That's like a side game.
Oh, sold, definitely. Good grief. I mean, this is what I have a 400 quid console for, to play games that look like they should have been on the bloody Spectrum.
I thought this would be right up your street, Paul.
It's
involving
really
fish.
not. That and Dredge and all the rest of it, you can stick them up your nose.
Wow. Okay, there you go. V Rising is coming out in 2024. What is this? Because this really reminded me of an old PlayStation game.
To me, it looked like a kind of Diablo clone with a bit of base building bolted on. So it looks like you've got to restore your house, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it really reminded me of
you
something.
You then go out and have a fight. So, yeah, I was getting Diablo vibes off it. I don't know what you were getting.
Something from long ago.
Was it Gauntlet Legends?
No,
it looked like that.
It was a vampire game. You played a vampire, they kind of wandered around like a top-down thing. Anyway.
Oh, not Legacy of Kain.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah? Legacy of Kain, the first one.
Yeah, the top-down. Yeah, I think it might be, yeah. That's what it reminds me. Yeah, that was great, wasn't it?
Really, that was brilliant back in the day.
Yeah, it did remind me a little bit of that, first of all. That's it. Thank you, Paul.
No worries.
This was all right. It's fine. Nothing to get Yeah, it looks fine. It's fine.
I thought it looked good. I was quite interested in this one.
Yeah. It's coming out 2024.
I think it's in co-op.
Oh,
Playing solo co-op.
Yeah. There you go then.
And now we had sort of two reveals. One of them we knew was coming, but the first one we didn't, which is Silent Hill, and we've got this is the best thing. Silent Hill, which I've downloaded today, I've not played it. Silent Hill Short Message, which is like free to play new game in the world, I think, in the universe, and it looked great. It's got some great reviews from people who played it. It's a couple of hours long, I think. It's got that kind of PT feel to it, maybe. People have had a good time with it. That was a nice little bonus, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And no one's played it yet.
Remember to download it. Yeah, I saw it and thought I must download that, and then didn't turn the PlayStation on. So
yeah, and then of course we've got the game we all thought was coming, Silent Hill 2 remake or remaster. And what do we think here? Who's big Silent Hill fans? I'm James, obviously not.
Me.
Paul.
Obviously not.
Well, we know you.
It's in the film.
Well, no, you're too scared to play Silent Hill.
You're not bloody playing Silent Hill. It's actually your game to get into horror. Don't do it. Paul, tell us about this. Are you excited about it?
It's Silent Hill 2, which I personally think is the best of all of them. I really enjoyed playing that back in the day. I finished it on the old PlayStation 2 ages ago. But it's been remade a few times now, hasn't it? Once it released on the Xbox as well as a part of a collection.
Yeah, there was a HD bundle one.
Yeah, there you go. And now it's coming to PS5, and it looks brilliant. I mean, the combat looks really good. The weird nurses are still in it, which is good to see. So yeah, I'm cautiously excited to play this all over again. So yeah, I think as long as they don't rush it and cock it up, it should be good. It might even be like the third PlayStation game I buy.
Who's the maker, Richard?
Bloober Team this time.
They're very good. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
They do good stuff, especially with scary stuff. So, I mean, the Medium was very good. I think that was one of theirs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. So
yeah, it does look good. And the only thing I thought of was after we got the Silent Hill Short Message free to play and the look of it, I was like, could have done with a new Silent Hill game. Without it being a full, like, it'd be quite nice if that would have happened, because you've done a 2-hour one. Why don't you do it? Maybe that's their plan. Maybe this is going to be the launch of their new. But
it's weird because when I did exactly the same thing, I watched that and I turned to my son and I said, "What they want to do is remake Silent Hill 2," and then bosh, there it was. I was like, "Oh, brilliant!" So
yeah, but the weird thing, we've got no date on this one yet. Maybe we'll hear something a bit more about that in the summer. It feels like no one's doing anything. There isn't much we know about past April or May. Is there? Maybe Xbox has got a couple of things, but
I think Silent Hill 2 is supposed to be this year still, though.
Just said in development, though, didn't it? It didn't say a year.
They had PlayStation did a thing, was it last week or the week before, like a sizzle reel for everything coming out in 2024, and that was on there, so everyone's expecting it this year.
Oh, good. Now, I was excited about this because I'm a massive BioShock fan. I love BioShock more than anything. I love the developer. I've forgotten the name of. What's his name?
Ken Levine.
Thank you.
Dave.
And we saw we saw a trailer, actually, for a little bit of a trailer of this new game, Judas, which is in development. And what was our impressions? James?
We don't do impressions.
I was a bit baffled by it because I'm not used to the BioShock style. As in, I could kind of tell that the creator was the same. But I don't know. I'm interested. I want to know more. But I don't really know what's going on.
No.
That's just life.
Not just about this game in particular, it's just in general, yeah.
You're on a podcast. Dinner will be soon. Yes, good. Yes, Richard, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I do understand what James is saying about it, but I enjoy that aspect of it. And another game that we'll talk about towards the end, that these trailers are coming out, and you know what it's for, but it leaves you with more questions than answers. But you like you say, it's the new game from Ken Levine with obviously BioShock and BioShock inspired, and it's almost like a spiritual successor to it. So instantly you're invested in it, and that's why I think these trailers. Yeah, that's why these trailers look good, because you don't necessarily need to see much to know that you're going to have a good time with it.
Yeah, I think that he's talked about, like everyone always does, it's about many different endings and the story will change. But we had a little hint of that in the trailer. Like one of the characters had different versions of herself when she's looking directly into the camera. Paul, you excited about this?
That's the tough one to call. I've never actually finished a BioShock game in my life.
God,
I've played them all, but I've never finished one. Right. And watching the trailer, you can see straight away the BioShock DNA. You've got the magic attacks in one hand and a weapon in the other, and it was just like, that's BioShock with a different name. So yes-ish, but I'm not a rabid fan like you, so it's not the end of the world if I don't play it. If you get me. But it looks reasonably promising.
I think it's coming to Xbox as well, isn't it? I don't think it's a PlayStation exclusive.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I've seen things on the internet to that effect.
Yeah. But yeah, we're in development. We don't quite know when that, but it's good to see some gameplay at last. I think we'll probably see a bit more of this in the summer. I've got this feeling. But let's talk about PSVR 2's back. But we've got a friend of mine, James, who we take the mick out quite a lot about VR2. But these two...
You can say Neil's name.
But these two look all right. I thought, actually, I'm quite excited. We've got a Metro Awakening in the Metro world, VR2, coming in 2024. And we've got Legendary Tales, a kind of like Dungeons and Dragons kind of like game that I quite like the look of. Richard, you're the VR person here out of us three. You excited? You're going to spend £500?
Yeah, I've still not got one. It's still on my to-do list. But I think these two look pretty good. Obviously, a new game in the Metro series is always welcome, and the fact that it's in VR, it lends itself to that very well already. And was it Legendary Tales was the name? Yeah. It looked a bit rough and ready at the start, and similar to a really bad game that I'd reviewed called Crypt of the Serpent King. But then you sort of see how creative it got with some of the kills, and you're like, actually, it looks like it could be a lot of fun, that.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I did appeal to it. It's coming out February the 8th, that one, so that's not long to wait. Paul, is that going to make you spend £500 on your PSVR?
No, VR's just a flash in the pan. It's not going to last. But I just have to raise an issue with both of these games, and it really bugs me, and I don't know why it bugs me so much. When you can see your hands, why can you only see your hands? Why have you got no arms attached to them? I find that really distracting. I don't like it.
Richard, can you answer this?
I would only assume because you don't have any sensors on your arms, so they could be in a very different position to how they're portrayed on the screen, and that might confuse people even more.
Yeah, but I mean, you've just got these hollow-looking gloves, and it just, nonsense.
Richard's just giving us a really good answer to that. You went,
I'm sure that's right. I'm sure Richard is correct, as always. But
it was some good BS nonsense from my part.
It was good.
It was. Well done, mate. You made that up. But it's still nonsense, and it still looks rubbish.
Good. James?
It did look rubbish in that second game. That Legendary Tales looked absolutely horrendous from a visual standpoint.
Right, good. So VR2 is still going. It's not enough games for them yet, is that?
It's good to see Retro, though. I think getting a new experience.
They need a big game.
Rather than some remake of a game that's like 10 years old.
Yeah, they do need something new to get you in there, because they haven't got that at the moment. They haven't got a system seller. let's just briefly, Dragon's Dogma 2, it came up. We've seen about that. It's coming out March 22nd.
Day before my birthday.
Yeah.
So that's a lovely present.
I'm really looking forward to put my name in for this one.
You can get lost.
Really am. After the recent events.
I think I'll be back now then.
Yeah, you could do it as well, James. Yeah.
won't.
Getting there.
You
Oh,
can't
can't wait for this one. There's a nice comment about a developer this week when he talked about fast travel, and he's basically saying you can't fast travel because, why would you fast travel? Because the world's so interesting. So, if you're not making your world interesting, there's no point. That's when you need fast travel. I think I regret that after level 40, and you've got to backtrack for 20 miles. But yeah, that's coming out soon. It does look good. Rise of the Ronin is coming out March the 22nd as well. Same day, I think. All near about the same time. We saw a kind of like a gameplay trailer. We saw some exploration stuff. I don't know what I think about this. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Assassin's Creed.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
It's the closest you really get to Assassin's Creed Japan.
Yeah.
There's a bit of Ghost of Satsuma in there.
Yeah, Ghost of Satsuma's in there. Paul, did you like the look of this?
I did like the look of this. I'm all on board with wandering around with samurai swords.
Yeah.
So, I thought it looked good. The combat looked very satisfying. I like the parrying mechanic again and the finishing moves. So yeah, a bit of stealth shown, sneaking up on people and dragging them off their perch with a, with the grappling hook. I thought that looked quite good. I'm not sure about the flying around bit, gliding off with your hang glider or whatever it's meant to be. I'm not sure how historically accurate that is, but other than that, yeah, I'm quite excited for this one.
There seems to be a lot of different little gameplay elements in there, didn't there? A little mixture of stuff in there. Yeah. James, Richard, anything you want to talk about that?
No. I got Sekiro vibes from it.
Yes.
Which put me off.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I just say my 12-year-old son bought Sekiro and finished it in 3 days.
Wow.
He's just some kind of gaming ninja. I wish he'd go and enter these Fortnite competitions and win me £1 million.
Wow. Wow. Good. That's coming up for 22nd. I'm keen on this, so I'm going to give this a go. James, you're going to do it, are you?
Well, I was tempted to, but I don't have a PlayStation 5.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jack.
Gareth will lend you his.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he will.
Yeah, absolutely. The next game's hard to talk about because I know someone who's worked on it, but my only comment on it is why? And it's a Till Dawn remake. It's not remake. It's like it's upgraded to PS5. But I think the reason I say why, and I'd be very careful to say, is the other one looked great. I don't see how they're going to improve some stuff. Anyone? Have you played it? Any of you three?
Nope.
Yeah, absolutely loved it.
Yeah. Do you think it needs an upgrade?
What's it actually about?
Go on, Gareth.
No, you say, Richard.
It's like a teen horror set in a cabin in the woods, but it's a precursor to the Dark Pictures games where it's a choose your own horror adventure and it's Supermassive Games again. So the masters of that subgenre, basically.
Okay. See, I didn't get any of that from the trailer.
No.
I was sat there going, what's that about? It's some people running around and screaming. So,
well, I think it's relying on the fact that they think you've played it before, know what it is, and that was the problem. I think,
that was a mistake, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was.
Assumption.
Yeah, I think it was. But that's coming out this year sometime. So, but I don't think you need it. I don't think you need to do it again. But then there you go. Let's talk about the big one, which is coming up with the last one. Well, the last big trailer, which I'm very excited because I'm a big fan of the first one. We talked about a lot on this podcast, and Richard's played and enjoyed himself as well. It's Death Stranding 2. We saw a long trailer. Now, before I get your comments, I think I wrote down here, if you don't know what Death Stranding is, you'll be confused. If you do know what Death Stranding is, you'll still be confused by this trailer. It is... There was so many things in there. Long old trailer. it made me very excited. Made me really think. James, what were your highlights of Death Stranding 2?
I think it was the ship coming out of the baby's mouth. That was very weird. I think it was just a very bizarre, typically Kojima trailer. And even though I've never played the first one, I know enough now to say that I think I would actually buy a PlayStation 5 just for the second one. I'm so intrigued by how the second one will work. I'm very excited.
Interesting.
Richard, you going back? You tempted by this?
Oh, massively, yeah. I think we all had an inkling it was coming. We even spoke about it last week at the Tekken 8 event. But yeah, just absolutely nuts, this trailer. Guitar solos and everything. But what more do you want from a Kojima trailer?
Yeah. Also, stop animation puppet that he puts on his side.
Yeah,
oh my God. Unbelievable. Mask hands. The little hands he wears on the mask. That was great.
That woman's hands were weird around the neck.
Yeah.
Paul, what are your thoughts? Because you haven't played the first one yet, have you?
I haven't played the first one, but now after watching this, I'm thinking I need to go and pick it up because it seems very peculiar. When it came, and I said to the boy, that's Norman Reedus. Thinking, it's just going to be another game. And then it was like, it's Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Let's give it its full title.
Yeah.
Which was quite entertaining. It looked bonkers, but in a proper sort of Kojima way. So yeah, I'm quite intrigued.
We talked about this. Sorry, go on, Richard.
So I was just gonna say, Paul, if you end up playing the first one, can you please stream it? Because I would love to see your live reactions to it. Because I have a feeling I know what they'll be like.
Really?
Yeah.
Would I say this is some kind of masterpiece? Or would I say what the actual...
I don't want to say it because when you play it and you find out what sort of game it really is, I think I think you'll have a few things to say.
Yeah. Right, cool. Well, maybe I'll get it at the weekend and play it, and then for the next podcast I can give you my reactions.
Oh, please do.
So, yeah, no worries. Does it have to be a clean version, or can we do a late night podcast if it's going to be like
that? It is. I mean, we talked about this on the podcast. It was my lockdown game that helped me get, exploring this world. I just loved kind of just walking about in that world. But the new animations of the world as well. So we saw a bit of him traveling around doing his deliveries. But those kind of the first game would look beautiful, but it had a kind of very Iceland vibe, didn't it? Of the kind of landscape.
Loads of freezers everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. But this one had a different kind of, some different biomes. We had sort of desert there. We saw it just looked beautiful as well. And the music in the first game as well. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm really looking forward. I was really disappointed when we thought it was 2025. I was like, I thought it was going to come out this year. I was really upset. Gonna be a big new year next year. Big game coming out next year. Christ. But yeah, it does. It looks, like you said, it's just like really intriguing. Mad as
a box of frogs.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And then right at the end, there was a kind of like, a sort of weird meta thing with a PlayStation guy, which people love to do at the moment. Show all the kind of like cameras working, and then Kojima talked about his new game. How much? Is he doing one for Xbox as well?
Yeah.
He is, yeah, he's best mates with Jeff, isn't he?
So he's doing that, and he's doing his new thing, which is another thing when he said before about the other one with Xbox, interactive game and movie, and I think it's got a name, isn't it? Is it panned out called?
Physint,
yeah, a new action espionage game. So he's busy. He's very busy.
I think that's 2030 at the earliest, though.
Yeah, he said he's got to finish Death Stranding 2 first, doesn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we thinking it's the new Metal Gear game or not? With it,
I don't think it's a new Metal Gear game, but I think the amount of allusions to it being an action espionage game makes me think it's the next generation of that. If you see what I mean.
I was just getting proper Metal Gear vibe because it's tactical espionage all over the place, isn't it? In those games. So
there you go.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'd be quite impressed. I'd be happy to play another one, I think. So.
There we go. Well, that was it. That was not bad. It was good. I think you liked it more than you said you did at the beginning. Yeah, some good stuff there.
The presentation was rubbish. I'm not sure where they dragged that fella up from that was presenting it.
Yeah,
but he was
head
of
PlayStation.
Yeah, new CEO.
He's useless.
Unbelievable. Yeah, before we go, we're going to go through like we do everything. So start of the month, it's pinch and punch time, first of the month. So we're going to go through our February 11 games that we're looking forward to. Well, actually, it's normally written by Dave. It's written by Gemma this time. And normally we slag this list off. None of us heard any of the games.
We can't do that today if it's written by Gemma, can we? We have to be give it the due consideration.
But this is our month on Xbox, our 11 games we're looking forward to. So we're going to go through them and see if anyone's got any comments about them. We won't be long on this. Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Paul?
I like a Warhammer game. As you know, I'm always doing my homework for this podcast, so I don't actually know a huge amount about this game. But if it's got Warhammer on it, stick me down.
It's a turn-based.
I played this.
Cool, go on, Richard.
I played this at the Frontier event a few weeks ago, and I was very impressed by it. I know nothing about Warhammer 40,000, but it being like a tactical turn-based game, I think Paul's going to have an absolute ball with it. Fantastic, it was very good. Yeah. It was sort of like XCOM, but fast-paced. You play as the Grey Knights, who we were informed of beforehand simply don't miss. So there's none of that random element of it. It's all about positioning and things like that. But yeah, it's very good what I did play of it. So yeah, that's going to be a good game.
Okay.
I look forward to that even more then.
Hasn't got a bloody release date on it, like every month. But I think they just do it on. I think they just do this out of spite now. They never give me a release date on this. But
It's coming out in February.
The clues in the name of the article.
Thank you, James. Persona 3 Reload. Have you done this, Paul? You reviewed this?
Fantastic. Yeah, brilliant game.
Great.
So yeah, sold 5 out of 5 on the review. So brilliant.
Is it out now?
Is it out? It's out this week, I think. So it's possibly tomorrow.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the 2nd it releases. But yeah, if you like Persona 3, play it with these new updated graphics and tweaks. It is just brilliant.
Okay, there you go. The next one is Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash. James, am I saying this right?
You to say.
James, haven't I saying it?
I've never seen it, but I know it's Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash.
It's not bad. What's this about, James?
There were some of the same syllables in there somewhere.
All I know is it's a 2 versus 2 fighting game, and you basically use cursed spirits from your inner energy to defeat demons and ghosts. And it's got a panda on the roster.
Oh.
So you'll be all right.
Oh, so you'll be all right, Gareth.
I'll be good, though, yeah. Good. Well, there you go. Nothing else to say about that. Project Downfall is a game, and it's out.
You know, this is why people come to this podcast for this in-depth analysis. It's a game, ladies and gentlemen.
It draws inspiration from the movies Falling Down, John Wick. It's set in a kind of like cyberpunky world, a futuristic city. Any of us played this? Anyone else going to play this?
No. I will just point out that John Wick and Falling Down were not set in futuristic cities.
No,
they were very much set in cities of today. It
draws inspiration, Paul. It doesn't copy them. Right, it's an inspiration. It's like, blimey.
Just like you inspire me, Gareth.
Yes. Poor Gemma. Gemma, this list.
Work hard at school.
None of us like this list anymore, Gemma. It's rebellion. Next one is a game that actually has been now pushed back. It's the one game I was looking forward to. Open Roads. Yeah, it's coming March 28th. We'll talk about that next month. Right, the next game is one that Paul nicked off me, which I wanted to play this year. So I'll be
I don't
nicking.
know what you're talking
I'll
about.
be nicking bloody what's the game? March 22nd, Dragon's Dogma 2, Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. Paul,
Prince of Persia.
You can't talk about it now, can you? Can you talk about any of it?
I am bound.
Okay,
I can't talk about
can't say
it.
anything.
But
yeah,
I'm not going to say anything.
No,
because I cannot.
You cannot say
We
anything.
know how Neil loves people breaking embargoes, so I'm not going to do it.
When's the embargo? It's coming out sort of mid-Feb, isn't it? 12th or 14th?
12th of Feb, I think, is the embargo.
Yeah. It looks interesting. It does look good. But we'll get more information about that with Paul. But that's a good one on the list, I think.
All I'll say is that you'd like it, Gareth.
No, that's it. You wait.
Is it the same people?
Yes.
Is it the same people that did Vampire?
It is. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so I looked at the decision making in that of how you can banish people or save them, and I thought it's very vampire-ish.
Yeah.
Same kind of choices.
I didn't know
It
what I
doesn't
thought
really
about
look
that.
at.
Do you like that game, the vampire game?
I enjoyed it, even though I was scared witless
Yeah.
for all of it.
They're not real, these games, don't you, James? It's not real. You can turn the telly off and they're gone away. This is true. Yeah. Your emotions are valid, mate. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Cheers, mate.
All right, let's move on. God, blimey. Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3 remastered.
Oh yeah. Looking forward to that one.
That's it, Paul, for you now. You've had your fun in the spotlight.
No, I've got my name down for this.
Yeah, you're not. Get yourself down. It'd be interesting to see what the remaster's like, but yeah, it's good to go. I'd quite like to go back to those games. That's coming out soon, I think mid-month. Chip in if you want to say anything.
14th.
14th, thank
14th of Feb.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. Perfect present.
Brother, A Tale of Two Sons remake. The game
Again?
We never thought it was a remake. It doesn't need a remake. It's
a great game.
It's a really good game. Brilliant.
It's brilliant. I really enjoyed it. But I don't think you can play it again, can you?
No.
The twist at the end, it's just not gonna. It won't have the same impact. I don't think.
It's got low. Has it always had local co-op mode when you can control a brother?
No.
So that's quite.
I thought it did on the same. I think you can do it on the same controller.
I think you controlled one brother with one thumbstick and the other with the other.
That was it. Yeah.
I suppose you could do it local. Yeah.
Local's quite good. I mean, that's a quite.
That would be interesting, but again, the story is so well known now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got Quump 2. That's how you say it. Quump 2. Richard, you can't talk about this. You're doing this. Quump 2.
One more time.
I still haven't got what game this is.
Quump 2. Richard, tell us about Quump 2. Right, I've upset the dog now.
2
Dog's
is
it's
what would happen basically if the ball from Pong escaped, and it's like a puzzle game, and the ball is continually moving, and you can sort of press a button to change the direction it's going, but other than that, you can't really do much with it, and you need to navigate it through these levels, and it's a challenging puzzle game.
You having fun with it? Can you say?
It's a challenging puzzle game.
Good. I think I skipped a bullet there. Good. Right. Let's go on to the next one. Skull and Bones. This is what James is going to be reviewing for us. I think that's what's happening.
Until it gets delayed again.
It's February. It's coming out. We think it's pretty much certain it's coming out mid-Feb. I think there's a beta coming out soon, maybe the 8th or the 11th, I think. We'll get involved in.
It's a weird time to do a beta, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it's out this month, do it right before.
Yeah, they're just checking to see if the servers are working. If they switched them on or not. But I want to play this now. I really do. At this point, it feels like it's like you can't turn away from something. I've got to now do.
Yeah, but it's going to be an absolute pointless game. That's always time.
Yeah.
It's going to be a train wreck, is what it's going to be.
Yeah. And then last on the list is Suicide Squad, which is out now. Tomorrow.
Speaking of servers turning on and off.
Yeah, Kill the Justice League. It's, the sort of like reviews in progress that I've kind of read. We've got Williams reviewing it for us. People are saying it's all right. Actually, it's all right. I think people are comparing it to kind of the Avengers game more than anything else. This is the story. Well, I think that's it. I don't think it is. I think people are saying the story's about 10 hours, 11 hours long. That's kind of, I think people are probably saying it's the most interesting bit, and people are sort of saying the gameplay does get very repetitive after a while. Which I kind of we all guessed at, really, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
A lot of people are happy with some of the deaths in it, though, either, are they?
That's right, yeah.
Even though the clues in the title, the developers repeatedly come out and said, "Oh no, we literally killed the Justice League."
Yeah.
And some people are still quite annoyed by it.
Yeah, that's it.
You thought you meant like the people that don't matter, like Elastic Man. Yeah, no, the clue is in the title. Yeah. And also, like Richard said, the servers have been having some trouble. I think they're probably on that now. But we'll see when William gives us a review in a week's time or something. There you go. That's our 11 Xbox of Game Pass. Thank you, Gemma, for that list. We gave you a good time rather than we normally do with Dave. Poor Dave. That's why he's not doing it anymore, maybe. But yeah, there you go. Any more on that list that we haven't been mentioned that we can think of? No, nothing at all.
Nothing for Xbox.
No. Big Final Fantasy. Oh, we should say the Final Fantasy have got their own little state of play coming out on the 6th if you want to see a bit more. I don't want to see any more of that game now.
No, I don't. Yeah.
It's going out in 20. When's that coming out? Is it 29?
29th, yeah. 4 weeks.
I'm looking forward to that. Right, gentlemen, thank you so much. That was really good. That was a nice little look at two of the state of plays in our February thing. February, we got through January. Well done.
February, finally.
Yeah, thank God. Thank you, James, for coming back. Are you pleased to be back? Has it been good?
Yeah, same old. Good to have a good laugh. And no nothing about games.
Good. There you go. Welcome back. Right, gentlemen, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
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 You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You had to find all the notes of the show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.